Hello, welcome to Scrap Time, episode 832. My name is Christine, and on today's episode, I'm showing you some Crafters Workshop templates with Impression Obsession stamps. Crafters Workshop and Impression Obsession have teamed up together to make stamps that coordinate with the stencils. So you can see here, I have this stencil with these gradation circles and the stamp, and you put it over top like that, and you can see it pretty much matches up. So I'm going to show you how you can use this. So if I'm using ink and stencils and know I'm going to spray, I like to use archival ink because it is waterproof. So I'm going to ink up my stamp. Now, the thing when I'm doing this, I don't necessarily always want a solid image. So sometimes I will put more ink in some areas, less ink in the other areas. I'm going to try and get a little bit more ink just so we can get a better impression today. But when I'm doing this in my art journal, sometimes I don't necessarily put down a lot of ink because I don't want that solid block. So I already know I'm not going to get a completely solid block because I can tell by my inking, but I'm going to get enough. So I'm just doing it on this piece of watercolor paper I have here, but you can use it on any sort of type of paper. So I'm just going to burnish it down. So I knew I wouldn't get a completely solid, but you can really see the distinct pattern there. So what I'm going to do now is take my stencil and match it up, and you see there may be some areas where a bit of that ink shows through, but that's fine. So now I can take my spray. I'm using Dilution Squeezed Orange. And before I take it off, I'm going to do that and then take it off. Some of my spray went under, that's fine. But you can see how the orange only fills in those circles, which is pretty cool. So normally orange and plum may go a little brownish or that, but because it just filled in, I get a nice orange just inside the circles. So that is one way to use these. I'm just going to wipe off my stencil, and I'm going to show you an art journal page I did with this technique. So I had stamped it randomly and then filled in with some blue in some of the circles, and then I painted and added more to it. But you can see in the background just the blue circles. You don't get blue anywhere else in the background. Now the other way I like to use a stamp like this is this time I'm going to put just light ink. I don't want a lot of ink because I just want to form a bit of a texture on a background. So see, and then there's still so much ink on there, I'm just going to, I just want those little dot circles just really lightly. So then I might just take this on its own, and with paint or whatever, I'm going to use spray again. This is the Vibrant Turquoise. I used a lot of spray there, but I can spray over top. I can use the stamp just for a background design. You don't have to use them together like the first time, so they can be used together like this, or they can be used as separate elements too, of course. And I'm going to show you a art journal page I did. Let me just try and wipe some of this off. here, you can see there was just a lot of light stamping, and it was almost just the circle being stamped. And then I had taken some paint and just added some circles here and here, and then added the other things as well. So that is a couple ways that you can use the Crafters Workshop templates and the Impression Obsession stamps. And they have a bunch of different stamps in backgrounds, as well as more like butterflies and shapes that coordinate together. Well, that's it for today's episode. Be sure to check out our website at www.scraptime.ca. And on our next episode, I'm showing you my American Girl cruise album I made using products from Studio Calico and American Crafts. So please join us. Thanks for watching Scrap Time.